Hello, ladies. Welcome to week 4. It's hard to believe we're already at week 4. Let's look at what we have to do this week. If you'll notice, you have several readings that we're asking you to do. You're going to read chapter 2 in Teacherpreneurs, and you're going to look at this link, Teacher Leadership Self Assessment. You also are going to be reading chapters 2 and 4 in the literature review text and looking at this link, Finding the Literature. And then you're also going to be researching on your own topic and materials related to the praxis, and that should be 5412. They changed the number a while back, and we've tried to change it in all the places in the shell, and I guess we've just missed a spot here. So let's look at our folder for our week 4 lit review. In your lit review for week 4, we have a little tip here. When an electronic source has no page number, include whatever information, paragraph number, or article headings, or both, that would be helpful in locating the quote. And then it gives you an example of how you would quote something from the internet that doesn't have a page number. So then in week 4, your discussion board post, you're going to be looking at chapters 3 and 4 and the UWF LibGuide. What themes are you finding as you search the literature on your topic? So you now have narrowed down your topic. So what themes are you finding? Probably more than you originally thought. And as I said, the best way that I have found to write a lit review is as you find themes, plug it in. So you have a basic outline, you have your topic, and then you're going to plug in your themes as they progress. Then you start plugging in information under those themes. Then you go back and you polish your writing. You don't have to worry about your writing being polished in the very beginning. Just get the information on paper. Then you go back and you fix it and you make it flow. Do make sure you put in your citations as you're plugging in information. That way you don't forget. And I would go ahead and start a reference page as well and go ahead and do the references, and then you have it all together. So what themes are you finding as you search the literature? Make a list of at least 2 themes. Under each theme, include a quote or a paraphrase from different sources that backs up that theme. Make sure you cite correctly. So this will go into your literature review. So at least 2 themes. You may have more by now, you may not. And then under each theme, we want a quote or paraphrase from different sources. So that means at least 2 different sources. If you have more, plug them in. The more you have now, the more goes into your lit review and makes it easier later. And you can look at the exemplar and lit review resources to guide the submission. So you're really, really digging into that lit review now and giving me things that are actually going to go in your lit review. Does it have to be polished writing? No, it does not have to be polished writing, but it has to make sense, and it has to go with the theme, and it has to be cited correctly. So be really intentional when you're turning in your lit review work for this week. Going back, you have week 4 Teacherpreneurs, chapter 2 in your self-assessment. So download the Teacher Leader Self-Assessment and honestly reflect on your teacher leadership skills. For each of the following domains, list your strengths according to your own ratings. So working with adult learners, what are your strengths? Collaborative work, what are your strengths? Communication, what are your strengths? Knowledge of content and pedagogy, what are your strengths? And systems thinking. It would not surprise me if systems thinking is lower, kind of depending on what position you're in right now, how long you've been teaching, whether you've been involved in leadership positions in the past. Systems thinking may be low, or you may be well versed. Usually, this is the area that I see candidates being the lowest in, and that's okay. You will grow in that area. What surprised you about your self-assessment score? How can you relate the self-assessment to information from chapter 2 of the Berry, Bird, and Wider text? So as you read this book and you look at your self-assessment and you give me strengths according to that self-assessment, make sure that you go back and you tie it into chapter 2 of Teacherpreneurs and your course content always, and also your standards. Always go back to your course content and your standards. That is in every submission that you make. That way you're always looking at those standards, you're always reviewing them, you're always tying them into what you're doing, what you're reading, and where you want to go. So this week is not very heavy. as far as discussion boards, the reading maybe looks a lot, but it's not. You have an assessment and a tab there to look at. This is a great week for you to really dig into your literature review and start thinking about your TED Ed. Start thinking about your topic. Start thinking about the information that you want to find there. Remember, with your TED Ed, it can be as biased as you want it to be, but your lit review must show both sides of your topic. So be thinking, and if you're doing the same topic for both projects, that's fine, but be thinking about how each one of them has to veer off on its own, and how one of them is going to be an advocacy piece and one of them is a literature piece. So they're going to look very different. So do make sure that you're following this week very carefully. I've enjoyed reading your work so far, and I'll start digging into week 3 after tonight. This is Tuesday night. Trying to get my video done before Wednesday afternoon. I'm so sorry. So I look forward to your work this week. I look forward to your self-assessment, and I look forward to your findings for your lit review as you're really digging in now. So again, please let me know if you have any questions, any concerns. If you just need to ask me something, if you need to talk to me, let me know and we'll make arrangements. You guys are working really hard. I appreciate all your hard work. I know this is a really hard time of the school year. January, February, March are always so long, and there's just no breaks, and unless you get lucky and get some snow, you're in school every day and you're taking class at night and on the weekends. But you can do it, you will do it, and you will finish strong, I have no doubt. Please just make sure you let me know if you're having any problems. Make sure you're keeping up with your work. You don't want to get too far behind, because once you get too far behind, then it's almost impossible for you to make it up. So stay current with your work, current with your submissions. If you have any issues, just let me know. Thank you, ladies, so much for all you do. I hope you have a great rest of the week and weekend, and I will see you soon.